As our all-access day with the Minnesota Timberwolves continues. Go ahead, Stephen A. Smith.
Malika.
Yes, sir.
Malika. I thought, you know what, we going to stop giving Molly props for some push-ups. I saw you get down there and do those push-ups. I mean, you got Molly beat. I'm just saying.
My trainer Courtney is going to be so glad to hear that. I've been in the gym working on it as we say hello to someone else who I know has been in the gym. Our senior insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, you reported earlier this week that Mike Conley Jr. has agreed to an extension with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think he goes a little bit under the radar sometimes. Why is he so important to this team?
It does. 2 years, $21 million for Mike Conley Jr. He'll be 38 years old in the second year of that deal. Tim Connolly, when he arrived in Minnesota, made that massive trade with Utah for Rudy Gobert. And then a few months later, he realized to make the Gobert partnership work in that front court with Karl-Anthony Towns, with Anthony Edwards, he needed a point guard who knew how to play with Rudy Gobert. Traded for Mike Conley Jr. with the Jazz. This was a player who, obviously, they wanted him to play with Gobert, but they wanted his leadership with this young team. And Mike Conley, at the time of that trade, he was hoping it might be the Lakers, it might be the Clippers. He was not enthusiastic about going to Minnesota. And just a year later, he was eager to sign that extension, not just on the court, but off the court with his family in that community. He's loved being there. And Mike Conley is a player who has really tied this group together. This is a team that turns the ball over a lot. Mike Conley is a low turnover point guard. And to be approaching his 37th birthday and still playing at such a high level and leading this group, Conley has been a huge part of this emergence as an elite team now in Minnesota.
Not to mention that experience in his 17th year in the NBA is so important because we're largely, Perk, looking at a little bit of a young group here that's looking to make noise in the postseason. And I know, despite their success in the regular season, you are not completely sold. I'd like to hear why and see if Stephen A. agrees with you.
Well, I'm not sold on them as being being the favorite in the conference, and I don't think no one is. I mean, even Vegas, for the simple fact that they need to show us when they actually get to the postseason. Right, I get it, and they earn my respect because I watched them beat the Celtics, handed them their first loss. I watched them beat the Nuggets. They have beaten every top team in the NBA. But again, in order to get that nod, where we put them above the Denver Nuggets as the favorite or the Los Angeles Clippers, you have to do it in the postseason. I need to see them win the series.
Let's go. He's sitting courtside tonight. I want to get Stephen A's thoughts and yours as well, Shanae.
Well, listen, I want to say this just real quickly. Mike Conley is a consummate leader. He's a high-quality professional. He's steady. He's reliable. He's trustworthy. Averaging 10 and 6 on the season, a 6-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, shooting 44% from three-point range. I'm not saying that there aren't point guards in the league that are better overall, but he's earned the money that he's gotten. They got him at a bargain. Tim Connolly, once again, has proven to be the elite executive that he is in making sure you keep this guy in total because he's far more valuable than those numbers suggest.
Yeah, and they've also earned the position of first in the West because if you think about what they had last year, they had a reality check. They lost in the first round to defending champs, and they've done everything ever since then to show that this year they're focused on the postseason.
This is a team whose window, while the core is young, they have a massive payroll next season. They're going to be a second apron team, which means they're going to be very limited in the kind of trades they can make, how they can reshape that roster. They are going for it now. But if this is a team that comes up short in the postseason, doesn't advance, I think you'll look at them in the offseason to say, are we keeping this group exactly the same? They're going to be expensive.
Yeah, this is a team that proves why this year is so important. When you have a window, you have to capitalize on it.
I'm on fire. It's NBA, I'm